Hi everyone, my name is Hannah Schenberger. I'm going to be doing my district profile on Simi Valley Unified School District. So some facts about this district. It's very large. There's 28 school sites, pre-K through 12th grade, and there's after-school adult programs and homeschool and independent study programs. It is the second largest school district in Ventura County. So again, lots of different students, different ages, and different factors. So the defining characteristics, there's no mission statement per se, but they do have their goals listed on their about page. All of these have two common themes, which would be community and rigorous academia. So the first one is about a rigorous academic program relevant to diversity and culture. So they really want to have diversity present in their curriculum. They have high expectations and they want innovative learning that includes different forms of teaching and innovative teachers. They want students to build confidence and character, and they want everyone to participate in success. So, again, I get a real sense of community here. The community wants to be involved in education and they want to teach about community in their classroom. The big statement that I really liked that they gave was at the bottom here. Our promise to our community is that we will inspire each and every student to succeed in school, career, and life. So, again, those two big themes. So demographics, I'm not going to read this off, but the two main races are white and Hispanic and Latino with 46.1% and 37.6%. This makes sense seeing as we are in Southern California and those are the two most present cultures. Just something interesting. I actually on Ed Data did not see any African American students reported, but looking on the district website and the LCAP forms, they reported 0.9% of African American students. So, not a very large community, but it does seem to be present. Some more demographics for you. 36.56% of students are eligible for the free and reduced lunch. So, still quite a good amount of the population. 11.2% of students are English learners, and 83% of those English learners' first language is Spanish. So, checks out seeing as there's about a 38% of Latino and Hispanic population. 12.81% are fluent and English proficient learners, and only 0.58% were redesignated into the fluent and English proficient category in the 2018-2019 school year. We're going to revisit that later as well. And I think that bottom number is covered, but there's 2,374 students enrolled in the special education program. So I'm going to briefly talk about revenue and finances. This district receives $185,526,499 total from their LCFF sources, state, local, and federal revenue. And they spend $181,175,947. So there's about a little under $4 million left over. Which every school does want to have leftover funds in case something happens. And we can look at the different categories here and see all the spending. It's always interesting to me to see what the discrepancy is and how much is being spent. Moving on to the LCAP and strategic plan, it was really hard to find the LCAP on their website. After a while, I gave up and just typed it into the search bar and then realized it was under the educational services tab. But then once you were there, it was so comprehensive, so easy to use. You can access the entire 2019-2020 LCAP plan and report, which I'll discuss. And they have these goals listed as what the community has cited as what needs to change and be improved upon using this LCAP. So this is kind of where the strategic plan lies. The first goal is about more college and career readiness programs. They want to fully implement the California state standards, which have been working to implement, and I think they're supposed to be fully implemented by 2021, so they're right on schedule, and they want to make sure technology integration is a focus. They want to implement the response to intervention RTI program. They want more parent involvement on the school sites, especially when it comes to EL parents, English learners. And they want to create a safe and engaging environment, including the digital environment. So, all of this, again, really plays into those two ideas of community and academia to me. We see making a comfortable community that's inclusive for all, and we see wanting to improve the education, whether it's through college and career readiness or technology use, but all of those are really in those two veins. I also wanted to mention on the website, I found a whole section dedicated to social emotional learning, including a survey that they send out to 3rd through 12th graders multiple times a year. And it discusses classroom effort, grit, growth mindset, learning strategies, teacher student relationships, and mathematics. All of this is to, again, help students be as comfortable as they can on campus. I really liked seeing that it showed me, again, they are really looking for the best in their students, for their students. Some recent changes that SVUSD has been going through. Chronic absenteeism is down and graduation rates are up, so that's really positive. More students are taking AP tests and they're meeting a lot of standards. Another recent change that everyone is facing right now is COVID-19 adjustments. So I will discuss that a little bit more, but I was really impressed with their website. It's constantly updated on the coronavirus and what the school's plan is to handle this. That's a really big change for every district right now. So looking at the strengths of SVUSD, first is their focus on community and diversity. I was impressed that I found this throughout their website, and if you click on each individual school's website, they do talk about how important community is and how they address adding diversity into their curriculum. Also, the social and emotional learning that I mentioned shows a move towards community and a level of importance. Additionally, they have a lot of resources for foster and homeless youth that are really easy to find right on their website. Again, just a lot of inclusivity that I've seen. Another strength is their integration of technology and digital literacy. Whether it was on the parent, student, or teacher page, there was always a nod towards technology and its use, and it was mentioned in the LCAP they want to make it even better. The parents and students have resources to increase digital citizenship and make it better. And it has resources in cyberbullying, on expectations, and why it is important to use digital literacy in schools. And I really like that the teacher section had a digital curriculum, including their goals and recommendations for what they think are important. Next strength would be high rigorous academic goals. I've mentioned it several times, but that really is a big focus. It's an academically driven mindset. The LCAP goals are all looking to improve, and clearly something's going right because grad rates are increased, as are test scores and AP involvement. And finally, the communication. It is so easy to work these websites, and it's so clear that there's a lot of communication between parent, teacher, and student. And I'd like to give the example of the coronavirus. The very first thing I saw logging in again on Friday was school has been canceled for 2 weeks. Here's a button to hit more information. So right away they have that communication going, and that can just avoid so many potential problems between parents and teachers and otherwise. Now, some challenges they face. There's a lack of professional development. It's nowhere on the website, and I spoke to 3 teachers who would like to remain not anonymous, and they all said that that was the number one thing they need and that they're not getting. Um, Next challenge is mathematics. So only 43% of the SVUSD students met or exceeded grade level standards on the state performance assessments in 2017-18 school year, and they had a goal to increase this by 2% in the 18-19 school year, and it was not hit. So something's clearly wrong there. This is an academically driven school. What's going on with math? The next challenge is drug use. There is a known heroin problem in the Simi Valley, and it does seep into the schools, and it could be causing some problems. So, how do we combat that when it's a community issue? And finally, the RFEPs, the redesignated fluent and English proficiency students. The previous school year, 9.1% of students were redesignated, and this year it was only 0.58%. So, what happened? Why is that such a big difference? Is it a focus on math? Is it a need for training? Again, 83% of the 11.7 English learners are uh, first have the first language of Spanish, so we should be able to help a larger amount of people. Um, On to my recommendations. First of all, professional development. Clearly, it's needed and the staff want it. I noticed on the high school sites, a lot of the schools have 1 hour of staff collaboration on Friday mornings. So maybe that could be used for PLC groups and for professional development in different forms. I also think that we should give the teachers a survey on what it is they need professional development on. Do they need help teaching English learners? Do they need more training on technology? And then we can take what they said and give optional summer trainings and do trainings that are mandatory on student minimum days so that they are getting maybe more training on technology if that was a large one. Next recommendation would be to improve math scores. I saw a real lack of tutoring programs, which seems to me like it would be the quickest, easiest fix. So maybe the library could hold before and after school tutoring. Teachers could sign up to be available on different days, or maybe it's just Wednesday nights, or even every other Wednesday night. At the elementary level, it'd be great to get more parent involvement and increase that. So that'll always help students. And the school doesn't, I mean, the district doesn't have particularly large class sizes. Usually it's 27 to 30, but maybe in math, we could try to make them even smaller. Next, focus on community and diversity. This is a strength, but how can we make it even better? I think we need to communicate with the city and collaborate with community events. We can talk to the community centers, we can talk to the Parks and Recreation Department. There's so many opportunities. Could the choir perform at an event? Could the band? Or could the arts class create a mural somewhere in the city? I just think getting students into the community and involved will make this even stronger. Also, if we gave the teachers some professional development on how to integrate into the community, that would be great. And finally, the redesignated fluent in English proficiency. Looking at the website, I mean, well, just to start, obviously professional development again. Um, Looking at the website, I found that elementary schools use the SEDI model, which is great. They have 36 bilingual instructional aids at 10 of the school sites. So I would say we need to up the instructional aids at the other school site as well. Um, the high school and middle school only have two ELD classes at each school. I think we need to increase those. We could have more classes and a smaller class size that we divide the level that students are at more thoroughly. They also have transitional English classes for higher levels, but what I think might be the problem is we need to make sure we're placing by ability, not grade, no matter how uh, different it is. So newcomers need more support no matter their age. We really, really need to be separating students by what level they're at, not by their age. Um, and finally, I think we need to up the instructional aids. It can never hurt. We should have more aids per students. So conclusions, I really enjoyed learning about this district. I think it has so many awesome strengths, and I think I provided some ways to improve, especially the RFEP situation and the mathematics department. Thank you so much for your time.